Wolves are often seen as the most dangerous animals in the world. However, our story today shows that sometimes people behave even worse than the most bloodthirsty predator, demonstrating real hatred for those they once loved so dearly. This story is about a young girl named Sophia, whose parents had given away in marriage to an elderly official in the hopes that the arrangement would benefit the whole family due to money and connections. No one thought about the girl's happiness, just the influence of her husband. Sophia was so unhappy in her marriage, but she did not dare resist the will of her parents. So, several years passed, until one day the girl fell in love with a man named Andrew. He had just graduated from university. He was smart, young, and handsome. He felt the same way about her, and they started secretly dating. After some time, they decided to run away to the taiga together, where no one would find them, and they could live happily ever after. There, Andrew became a huntsman, and Sophia took care of the household. It was the first time she was happy in years. One day, Andrew brought home a wolf pup he had found in the forest, whose mother had been killed by poachers. Sophia was very happy to have someone to take care of while Andrew wasn't home, so she kept it as a pet. As time passed, the pup grew into a beautiful wolf. However, one day, he decided he no longer wanted to live in captivity and ran into the forest, never to return. Sophia was worried about him, but she understood and accepted the fact that the forest was where he truly belonged, not in a small house. Andrew and Sophia lived in perfect harmony and even began to forget about their past, but their past would not forget them. One day, while Andrew was away on a 3-day hunt and Sophia was home alone, someone knocked on their door. When she opened it, she saw her ex-husband, and then she felt a sharp pain followed by nothingness. The girl woke up in the middle of the forest. Very quickly, she realized that her hands and feet were tied, and it was useless to scream as no one would hear her in this wilderness. Sophia lay there, quietly weeping, until all her strength had left and she lost consciousness. She woke up from hot breath right next to her face. Opening her eyes, she realized that a wolf was nearby. Sophia accepted her fate. This was the end. She closed her eyes and waited for the attack. But the beast behaved very strangely. He went around the girl from behind and very carefully started gnawing through the ropes on her hands. She could not believe what was happening. Having freed her hands, the wolf sat down next to her and waited until the girl was able to free her legs from the ropes on her own. Her body was very stiff from not moving, and it took Sophia a while to fully recover and be able to move independently. When she was able to get up, she looked at the wolf, and only now, through her tears, did she recognize the wolf she had taken in as a puppy. The wolf sat for a while longer and then disappeared into the depths of the forest. Sophia walked all night before she finally found her way home. There, she changed her clothes and went to the village to file an application against her ex-husband, who had taken her to the forest and left her there to be eaten by wild animals. However, the accusation could not reach him because a few days later, the body of Sophia's ex-husband was found in the forest. The results of the examination showed that it had been torn apart by a wild beast, presumably a wolf. After her ex-husband's death, Sophia and Andrew were finally able to formalize their relationship, but they had no desire to return to the city. They bought a house in the village, Andrew continued working in the taiga, and they had 3 sons together.